Give praise, children. Give praise. Give praise, children. Yeah. Give praise. Give praise, children. Yeah. Give praise. Give praise, children.
Edit.
Everybody hungry. Everybody give praise. Everybody hungry. And if you know what I mean, put up your drink. And if you know what I mean, put up your hand. And if you know what I mean, put up your drink. And if you know what I mean, then scream. Oh, oh, oh. Give Jah his praises. Oh, oh, oh. Let Jah be praised. Oh, oh, the Father in His mercy, He sent a little music to make me vibration raise. And everybody say, eh, 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 eh. I love the country. Do it, do it, do it. Eh, 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 eh. I'm feeling irate. Do it, do it, do it. Eh, 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 eh. I love the country. Do it, do it, do it. Eh, 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 eh. I'm feeling irate. Do it, do it, do it. Do what you want.
Hello and welcome to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. My name is Jesse McDougall. I'm happy that you're joining us for today's show because we are visiting the beautiful island nation of Trinidad, something that we've done twice before on this show. Now, when I say visiting, I mean that we are going to listen to some music and some special interviews from people with ties to Trinidad, as we do every single week for a different country all around the world. And this week we're revisiting an interview that I did about a year ago with Shameel Mohammed. Shameel has now graduated from the University of Toronto, but in our interview we talk about slang from Trinidad. We talk about chicken curry. Or is it curry chicken? There's a bit of a disagreement on which word comes first. And finally, we talk about all the cultural mixing that goes on in Trinidad between West Indian people, West African people, and Hispanic people from Venezuela, for example. And for that interview, we are joined by our friend and our unofficial intern, Quinn Carlisle. Our second interview for this show is a special one because we're talking with musician Chaddy Cub. He's an up-and-coming artist from Trinidad, based in Florida, and you're going to hear some of his tracks at the end of the show. Also, he'll explain some of the background about where these songs came from. For example, he's been inspired by the music he grew up with in church. We talk about how to move a crowd, how to hype up the people in the front row, and we also get an in-depth description on how to care for dreadlocks, something you may be wondering about. So, we're going to be hearing from Chaddy Cub in the second half of this show, but please stay tuned, and stay tuned with Tracks from Abroad on Instagram at tfa.radio, where you can see all of our episodes from the 70-plus countries we have visited at CIUT.FM. The last three, for example, were Nigeria, Indonesia, and the Netherlands. We're covering all corners of the world, so keep it locked on Tracks from Abroad. This is CIUT 89.5 FM, and we'll be back with Shameel right after this.
Anybody from Guyana, anybody from Antigua, give me.
Morning, neighbor. That's the we say back home in Trinidad. Or morning, brethren, morning, sister. My name is Shameel. Y'all can call me Sham. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. Big up the Caribbean people one time. Don't know how we doing it.
How exciting to have Shameel. Clearly, this guy's full of energy. He's a ball of energy. And we're going to talk all about Trinidad and the Caribbean. We've also got to welcome Quinn Carlisle to the show. Quinn is in the call. He is our Tracks from Abroad intern. Quinn, how you doing?
I'm great, Jesse. I'm always happy to be on the call.
Well, Shameel, I want to ask you, how did you come to the University of Toronto? Here we are in Canada. And how did you make your way from the Caribbean?
Well, that's a good question because I would say coming to the University of Toronto was all a dream of mine because I've had cousins attend this university as well over the years. Also because there's a huge Trinidad and Tobago diaspora here. So I feel like home all the time, 24/8, 25/8, not 24/7. This is actually second home.
Well, before we even met Shameel, I was getting recommendations from other guests on Tracks from Abroad. One of them was Anna, who's from Latvia, and Anna was on the show. And it's really cool to be able to, make these connections, this network of students. Another one was Sharon from St. Lucia. And so I got to learn a little bit about the Caribbean. So that helped me in writing up some questions. But yeah, to talk about the Caribbean community at U of T.
Big up the Western Eastern Association one time. And at UFT, there's WISA. And there's also the Caribbean program, and they also have a student union called CARSU. So UFT has a lot of Caribbean students downtown. There's 3 other students who I went to high school back home with. So we always go out on lime. So lime is a word in Trinidad we use to party. So if you're here at lime, it means to like party and have a good time. WISA has done a tremendous job for the Caribbean community, and they continue to do. Being part of WISA and as a member of the club, you get to make these connections, not only within UFT, but the Caribbean connections, like extending out to the University of Toronto.
I like that you brought up that word lime, to hang out, to chill, to lime. There's also wine, which is like a time, you're dancing.
You have wine, we have so back when we have a genre of music called chutney, and another dance with wine is like screw the light bulb, pat the dog. So like you screw the light bulb and you pat the dog. So chutney is like a fusion of Indian and we have a lot of Indian diaspora back home after indentureship. That form of chutney generated from my ancestors who came from India, and the rest of the Indian community come to Trinidad and Tobago many years ago and settled, and it's changed over the years. There's a fusion, there's a mix of it.
Okay, we're in the call right now with Shameel Mohammed from Trinidad, also with Quinn Carlisle, our TFA intern. We're going to be right back here on Tracks from Abroad.
Wait, you've seen all here. I'm Shameel, and you're listening to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. Yeah.
A bunch of Imelda last night by Green Corner. I still feeling drowsy from the dance she teach me. She say, do kitchi, let we go to town. come go home, me man and they we gon' dance up upside it down. I say, no, Melda, I don't want to go. No, Melda, I don't dance so. She say, I gon' shoot you, kitch, if you ain't take the dive. Well, don't ask me what happened, you see me alive. I went in she Casper, some way round the corner. I start to backpedal when I see she bundle. I say, do, darling, I can't take the chance. You don't know, Imelda hold me and force me to do the dance. I still calling, no, Melda, I don't want to go. No, Melda, I don't dance so. She say, I go shoot you, kitch, if you ain't take the dive. I'll make me own decision and come out alive. Call me Kitchener, I come from a Rima. I don't bother people, I don't look for trouble. This Jamet Imelda come and wreck me life and force me to dance. I don't dance with me lawful wife. I say, no, Melda, I don't want to go. No, Melda, I don't dancing so. She say, I gonna shoot you, kids, if you ain't take the dive. Well, what a man wouldn't do to remain alive.
I'm Drew Gonzalez from Kobo Town, and you're listening to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM.
At the edge of the city, the roofs of broken iron blaze like a diamond crown, blessed by the morning sun. And these shattered pavements, baked in the noonday heat, are made a mighty drum by the rhythms of falling feet. Hiding in unexpected places, resting on the neglected faces, the beauty that we seek lies unseen among the meek. Remove the mist that cover me, so I can see, so I can see. Shatter the glass that bottles me, so I can be, so I can be. Remove the mist that cover me, so I can see, so I can see. Shatter the glass that bottles me, so I can be. At the edge of the evening, the tattered ribbons of lights offer electric garlands up to the fast approaching night. Enveloped in darkness, the light of a dim neon cross shines brighter than any star against the backdrop of our loss. Hiding in unexpected places, resting on the neglected faces, the beauty that we seek lies unseen among the meek. Remove the mist that cover me, so I can see, so I can see. Shatter the glass that bottles me, so I can be, so I can be. Remove the mist that cover me, so I can see, so I can see. Shatter the glass that bottles me, so I can be. Hiding in unexpected places, so I can see, so I can see. Shatter the glass that bottles me, so I can be, so I can be. Remove the mist that cover me, so I can see, so I can see. Shatter the glass that bottles me, so I can be. At the edge of the city, the roofs of broken iron blaze like a diamond crown, blessed by the morning sun. And these shattered pavements, baked in the noonday heat, are made a mighty drum by the rhythms of falling feet, hiding in unexpected places, resting on the neglected faces. The beauty that we seek lies unseen among the meek. Remove the mist that cover me, so I can see, so I can see. Shatter the glass that bottles me, so I can be, so I can be. Remove the mist that cover me, so I can see, so I can see. Shatter the glass that bottles me, so I can be.
Welcome back from our music break. This is Tracks from Abroad, and today I'm Quinn. I'm here with Jesse, and we're talking to Shameel from Trinidad. Shameel, what kind of things do you like to cook that are native to Trinidad?
Anything curry chicken. And recently I learned to cook stew. I'm trying to learn to cook like my mom, like my grandma. I'm trying to cook with my uncle, my auntie, because they're the ones who know how to master it. Yeah, curry is also different. Our curry is different from like curry within the Caribbean. So when you see like Jamaican curry compared to Trinidad's curry, Trinidad curry is a bit greener than Jamaican curry, and Guyanese curry as well is different to Trinidad and Tobago curry. But every country, every Caribbean island has a different form of their curry chicken.
We're talking about the differences between the foods, but what are some broad differences that you can point out between these island nations?
I would say Trinidad is more industrialized and Tobago is what you would epitomize as a tourist destination. So like I will go there with my family and friends just to have a good time, sit and lime. And like between Trinidad and Tobago, I believe that Tobago has more beaches than Trinidad. And the only thing though is that we just call it curry chicken. That damn curry chicken. and my guy and his friends and colleagues would call it chicken curry. But besides that, we all live as one. We are the Caribbean region. We are the West Indies.
I was reading that before Christopher Columbus came, Trinidad was known as the land of the hummingbird. So I'm curious if that is still a symbol there, and it's like something important to you, the hummingbird.
Yeah, we have a tremendous amount of different types of hummingbirds back home. Yeah, hummingbirds are really dear to us. And anywhere you go, like even within the city, you would see a hummingbird. So for example, yesterday my mom put up a Instagram story, and you know what it was? It was a picture of a hummingbird nest. And where I live within the city of San Fernando. So it's more of an urban area compared to like other areas within the city. So it's really nice to see like hummingbirds being part of the urban environment. And a lot of it has been commercialized because you see bird feeders popping up everywhere. So everyone has a bird feeder back home. It's a huge part of our ecotourism as well.
Trinidad is pretty close to Venezuela, if I'm correct. I'm wondering if Venezuela has any influence on Trinidad, if any of the unrest there has any influence on Trinidad.
So what is happening, similar to what is happening in North Africa and Italy, is what is also happening between Trinidad and Venezuela. Over the years, we've seen an influx of Venezuelan migrants into Tobago, and I think around like 4 years ago, we would have granted amnesty to many of them to reside within Trinidad and Tobago. We've been able to have fusion with our Venezuelan citizens in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's really nice because they bring with them so many of their culture as well, from their foods, their music. And recently too, I was watching a video on Facebook, and they have a sport native to Venezuela called kickball, which is like baseball mixed with football. Well, And I see it was being played back home in one of the grounds back home. Yo hablo español muy poquito, así. But definitely I would see anyone who's coming to Trinidad and Tobago, if you know or speak Spanish, it'll be really good for you as well. But I was telling someone yesterday, I live in Trinidad and Tobago, but I celebrate Eid, I celebrate Diwali, I celebrate Christmas, I celebrate Easter. Like, my name is Shameel Mohammed, right? And I know someone, I think, and my name is Shameel Mohammed, but I'm a practicing Hindu. Some of my family is also Muslim. So for Eid, I've been to mosque, I've been to like iftar for Ramadan. And it's really nice to grow up back home because we live together in like these small communities. And that's why everyone gets to celebrate all cultures, like religion back home is really nice because we grew up in everything. We grew up like celebrating each other's religious festivals.
Shameel, so it sounds like the Caribbean is really a melting pot for all different people around the world. Toronto claims to be one of the most multicultural cities in the world. Does it hold up to that?
Yes, most definitely. So when you say melting pot, I like how you said that because like I could put that into the context of like a Caribbean dish. It's called kalaloo or pilau. So kalaloo is like a mix of like bhaji, okra, pumpkin, pepper, you name it. It's all just mixed up in one pot, right? Just like how you said a melting pot. And definitely that's why that was also one of like my the factors of like coming to Canada to study because of Toronto. Yeah, they do a really good job with integrating all cultures, religions into for the festivals and so on.
All right, Shameel, to wrap up the show, could you summarize in one sentence Trinidad and Tobago, or a reason why someone should visit Trinidad and Tobago?
There's a song by David Rudder called Sweet Sweet TNT. It's got Sweet Sweet TNT. Oh, how I love my country. So aside from Trinidad and Tobago being a sweet, sweet country, if I could sum up Trinidad and Tobago in one sentence, it is a country where every creed and race finds an equal place. And that's also a line from our national anthem.
Beautiful. What a way to end the show, Shameel. Thank you very much for coming on Tracks from Abroad. Thank you to Quinn.
Yeah, you don't know it's your boy from Trinidad and Tobago, Shameel here, and just digging up TFA one time and Jesse for the tremendous work he's been doing here alongside Quinn, his intern here. So great job, TFA team. Y'all are making moves. Don't know.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I search to find a love within. I came back to let you know I got a thing for you, and I can't let it go. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Hey Toronto, it's your boy Chaddy Cub, all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. You're listening to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. All right, I just want to big up all my DJ friends out there, Dr. J, Jester, just to name a few. My cousin Tricky's out there in the whole Caribana vibe. They're probably prepping for that right now. So big up you guys. Also want to say happy birthday to Priyanka, my PR manager and assistant. She's been doing a great job, and I always keep telling them we're going on tour. So big up to everybody who's listening right now, and believe in yourself because you are great.
This is Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. My name is Jesse McDougall, and I want to give a big thank you to our student guest. First on this week, that was Shameel Mohammed talking about Trinidad, and we also want to thank Quinn Carlisle for coming on as our co-host for Tracks from Abroad. Both of those guys have now graduated, and I myself have one more year left at the University of Toronto. We're going to make it a good one at CIUT 89.5 FM, continuing this show, but also incorporating some new voices, some new countries, and some new events that people can take part in Toronto. Previously, we have done an international potluck. We have done some film screenings, so stay tuned for all of those things at tfa.radio on Instagram, where you can follow us. You can also send us music recommendations or suggestions at tracksfromabroad at ciut.fm, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. So, next up on our show, we are going to talk to Chaddy Cub. He's an artist from Trinidad, and what a lively and friendly guy, and very funny too. I think you're going to enjoy this interview quite a bit, and we've also got some music coming up here from Chaddy Cub in just a little while. So, you are listening to CIUT 89.5 FM, and I started my interview with Chaddy Cub by asking him how he got into music.
CIUT, the sound of your city.
Oh man, the music journey, started off from a little tender age of 3 years old, just picking up a drum. I grew up in church actually. Okay. So I've been playing drums inside there for a long time, and then I decided to attend Full Sail Orlando later on in my years, and I did music production there. And then from there, I just branched out into my own artistry.
Well, we've actually talked. You say you started in church with music, and we've talked with another artist from Jamaica who also said the same thing, like church was really important. Is that true?
I really believe that is the foundation for a lot of great artists. You look at people like Whitney Houston. She started off in church too. A lot of great artists across the spectrum of music. They were able to get that foundation of learning and interacting with music in church. And I think that is good because at an early age, it allowed me to get in certain circles and different spaces with most qualified musicians and other qualified vocalists that I could just relay information to. So yeah. I thank God for that experience.
Yeah. Very good, very good. And also in a church in Trinidad or in Florida, how does music come into that space? Is there a band that's playing along? Are there sermons or gospel? How's it work?
Well, in the church service, the music is like we look at it as a ship to carry the congregation into that spiritual realm. But also we as musicians have to connect to the spiritual power and to the congregation. So at an early age, I obtained those senses of feeling out the crowd, where we should go, how to take it up or how to bring it down. And those keys are very, very important in making music, because at the end of the day, you're creating a product for people to listen to all over, and is more than a listening, is more to feeling it. So I think, back to that whole vibe at church, that created that sense of how to make people feel.
From crowd to crowd in different places, how do crowds react differently to your music? How do you move a crowd, and just how do you handle that kind of scenario?
When you enter into a space, you have to captivate your space, number one. So when you get into a spot and you feel that vibe, you have to significantly find some sort of direction into getting these people to get their eyes on you, get them to listen to you. But one of the techniques I use is making people feel nice about themselves.
Oh, okay, good.
Which is true. You gotta feel nice about yourself. If somebody come and tell you, bro, you looking good, you got a nice smile, automatically you accept that person and you want to listen to them. So that is one technique I use, and it always works. It always works.
Does that mean you're pointing out people in the crowd like, hey, nice shirt, or like,
Yeah. You could point or say nice smile, or you could say, that person in the white top, you looking good tonight. This song. Nice. So you just interact, you get personal with your crowd, you just don't say, hey, good night, guys, we're gonna do this. Man, it's a fun experience, man, to change people's moods, to get them feeling from down to up, and you see the smiles and you see the reaction. That is the purpose and the drive of everything that I'm doing.
All right, one last question and then we'll get into some music. What about music interests you? What about music do you really like?
Music is just a connection, an invisible connection, that you could connect with people. And I believe music can change people and it can make them think about themselves, because at the end of the day, the only person that could change you is really you. But I think music has a step towards that conviction and that way that you can change to be better. When I create a song, the main goal is to really uplift people.
That's lovely. All right. We are going to play one track here from Chaddy Cub. This track is called Side. We're going to get back after this to talk with Chaddy about how this song came to be and what it means to him. So Chaddy Cub, thanks again for being here, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Let's go.
In this thing forever, yeah. I'm never gonna let you go. You got me here forever. Saying that you won't let go. In the midst of all the trouble, yeah. All this love ain't gonna pass us by. In the middle of the night, yeah. Thank God for how great you are. Just gotta let you know. So close, you're gonna find me. Yeah, you are wifey, yeah. You be going through my thoughts all night. I think I want you by my side. I really want you right there by my side. Yeah. You're gonna make it through this trial right by my side. Yeah. Been thinking about it all night. Right there by my side. Yeah.
Switching sides, baby, is you down to ride? You know I'm the truth, you ain't gotta tell a lie. Oh no, I want it now, don't keep me waiting, yeah. I get excited by your fragrance, yeah. It's my moment, I can't miss you by my side, but I need you, it ain't an issue. I could get you anything you want. The only problem is I leave in the morning. So for right now, can we live in the moment? Keep getting closer, when you're done for me. Caught in emotions. You are wifey, yeah. You've been going through my thoughts all night.
I think I want you by my side. I really want you right there by my side. Yeah. We're gonna make it through this trial right by my side. Yeah. Been thinking about
So welcome back to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. You just heard Side by Chaddy Cub, an artist from Trinidad, and we are lucky enough to have Chaddy in our virtual studio here today. Chaddy Cub, can you tell us about that track, Side?
So let me take you way back to, well, not way back, just like yesterday when the whole world stood still because of the COVID and everything. Pre-COVID, I have a production company that does film as well. So that was just going. And then when like the first phase of COVID, when everything just shut down, a lot of people was probably going crazy. They had nothing to do, but you had to draw back onto your real purpose. So for me, it was going back into studio and recording. And then for the whole 2-year period, I just stood in studio, record, write. And then one of the songs that really stuck out to me that I wanted to push out as the first track was Side. And I recorded it in Trinidad. I wrote the first half. And then one of my good friends out in Los Angeles, Mr. Aaron Fresh, I flew out to LA, met with him, and let him hear the song. And then we went into the studio, recorded it, and it was just an easy breezy process. And the end product was wow.
Chaddy Cub, I want to ask you also the name. Where does the name Chaddy Cub come from?
Oh, so that takes me way back now. Now, I always look at the marketing side of things, and everything I do, I always look at marketing. What can be relatable to the people? And one thing you find, a lot of people will be drawn to the cuteness of a puppy, the cuteness of a kitten, and furthermore, the cuteness of a cub, the young. But furthermore, besides that, the cuteness, the cub is just so filled with potential of greatness because they are going to grow into a lion one day, which is also the king. So they have the potential to just, be great, but it's up to them. With greatness comes a lot of work, a lot of preparation that you have to put in.
We do have a pretty sizable community from Trinidad in Toronto, and I'm sure those communities are everywhere, particularly where you are now in Florida. Can you talk about the diaspora of people from Trinidad and Tobago all over the world? Do you find a community wherever you go?
Man, Trinidadians are all over the world. One thing with Trinis abroad, once they find out you're a Trini, you automatically become a brother or a sister one time and keep that connection going.
I've never gotten a chance to ask people. I don't know anything about dreadlocks. You can see my hair is recently buzzed. It would take years for me to get where you are today, right? So like, where did dreadlocks come from? Where in the culture, and how do you maintain them? Like anything, I'm curious.
Dreadlock is something I always wanted to do. Even when I was playing drums, I grew my hair out long, but you have that thing with your parents. Your parents don't want you to dread your hair, this kind of thing. So growing up at a young age, I just had my hair out. But as I came in the age, I said, let me just do what I always wanted to do. So I did this. And I love it. All those high maintenance, I really love it. And it brings a good image, a good look to the artistry as well.
Yeah. How do you start doing it? How do you care for it? It's like a plant, sort of. You got to keep it.
Let me run through the whole process for you.
Thank you.
You go by the hairdresser. She's going to sit you down in a chair, and she's going to divide your hair into little squares. She used the technique of a crochet needle. So she takes your hair, put it into one, and then she instantly locks it. And bro, that process, I was in a hairdresser's chair for from 2 p.m. in the day to 11 p.m. in the night. Dude. That process alone was just, whoo boy. And then after that, now you got to do the twisting and the maintenance, bro. It's a lot, but I love it.
All right, well, Chaddy Cub, as we get into one more final song we're going to play, this one is called Love of God. We want to hear about how this song came to be, and then we want to hear where we can catch you in your music.
Okay, so Love of God, that came from a very, very, very spiritual place. That song, Love of God, really came from a dry place, because at one point in time, I was trying to run from it. I was really, really honestly trying to run from it. And when I got that song, I know I turn to the scripture in the Bible, I read, I meditate on that. And I would say 75% of that song is really scripture. That scripture really stood out to me. I know it had me to the point of tears, bro. I was crying out in studio there. I couldn't believe a big man like me was crying like that in studio. But when you experience that presence of God, you just, it humbles you. It just have you thinking where you came from. And I believe God is going to take us to a certain place. You will have some time to celebrate, but you're always in that moment of trial and tribulations that makes you stronger. So that song was one of those songs of bringing me back into the light of purpose. Well, what is your purpose here? And it's ready to spread the love of God, because it really and truly for me, it set me free.
Very well said. Thank you, Chaddy Cub, for explaining that. We're going to play this one last song, The Love of God, right here on CIUT 89.5. But first, Chaddy Cub, thank you very much for coming on to Tracks from Abroad.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, CIUT, man. Big up to the world. I come in Canada soon, We're going to link up and have a vibe.
Steady you come, tell me how it will be. Yeah, never gave a damn on how it will feel. You remember how to love for real. And we forget that that's how it's meant to be. And we are more than conquerors. God who loves us. He loves us. The endless love in which He formed us. And no height, no depth can separate our love. And no storm, no power can come between our love. You're in full control of where we are to be. And when we feel all lost, I reach out for the cross. Remember just how to love for you. And we forget that that's how it's meant to be. Out of control when you come aboard. I miss your love where I belong. And you hold the love that I endure. 'Cause faithfully you stand ashore. And no height, no depth can separate our love. And no storm, no power can come between our love. You're in full control of where we are to be. And when we feel all lost, I reach out for the cross. Remember just how to love for you. And you still love us despite who we are lately. And oh, forgiving, you heal the broken.
My child, I will never ever let you go.
You are listening to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. Today's show was all about Trinidad, and I have to give a big thank you to the artist Chaddy Cub for coming on, talking about Trinidad, his beginnings in music, and for sharing a few of these songs, their origins. I very much appreciate it. So, as I said, this is our third episode about Trinidad. We've done two previously, and you can go back and listen to our older episodes on Apple Music, on Amazon, on Spotify, all of the above. We talk to students every single week at the University of Toronto about the countries that they come from, and we visit a different country every single week. I hope you'll stay tuned in for the rest of the hour, and coming up next, you'll catch Indigenous Waves from 7 to 8 p.m., followed by Veritable Infusion, and finally 6 Degrees, the iconic hip-hop show broadcast live from CIUT studio in downtown Toronto. Now, to end off our show, we're going to play some songs by Kobo. They're a band based in Toronto, led by Drew Gonzalez. We spoke to Drew last summer on Tracks from Abroad, and their most recent project was called Carnival of Ghosts in 2022. But we're going to play some songs from all over their discography, and if we have some time at the very end, we'll throw in a few more special tracks as well. So thank you very much for listening to Tracks from Abroad today on CIUT 89.5 FM. We're going to be back with you next Monday at 6 p.m. or anytime you like at CIUT.FM. You can stream our show.
January, frozen winter day. The body bus stop dancing the cold away. Bitter wind blow in the snow around. She don't notice she captured by the sound. Coming through headphones from far away. Songs that bring the light and sing the green of day. Sound stream making her trouble seem to be passing like a dream. Eh. Midnight, busy hospital floor. One down, don't know how she will endure. Tomorrow morning at the grocery store. But for the children, she will do all that and more. Home for a quick change of uniform. Time to kiss 2 chicks and rush out the door. Manager, uptight, the man ready to fight. He don't know what she does it for. Hey, Scarborough girl got a little in her talk. Swinging her walks and her dancing by the stop. Scarborough girl, she's so tired she can drop, but she won't slow down. She's afraid to stop. Scarborough girl got a little in her talk. Swinging her walks and her dancing by the stop. She so tired she can drop, but she won't slow down. She's afraid to stop. Mother dear, whatever brought you here to this place so far from now that you had there? I know it was hard. You never let your worries show. Mother dear, you're so much stronger than you know.
Curated by the people, for the people. CIUT 89.5 FM is the sound of your city.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps,
years ago today, independence came our way, welcomed by our struggling songs. It came but would not stay, and we wanting to believe. Let us be deceived by the well-groomed speech of ambitious men who time proved to be thieves. But years went by and nothing came. New flag, new name, same old game, where the lucky laugh and the poor endure, having lost the will to fight again. Well, I remember when we were young and hope was strong, and we had waited long to hear the midnight bell that would dispel the edge that kept us young. I recall when we would plead, cause we believed freedom was in reach of those who seized the day. But freedom came and faded like a dream. Shout out. Remnants of a dying rage, whose anthem swept across this land, proclaiming a new day. And we waited patiently for the elusive decree would rub away the scars we bore and set our voices free. But the years were on and nothing came. Tyrants just brought different names, while the official line promised brighter times. We knew all things remain the same. I remember when we were young and hope was strong, and we had waited long to hear the midnight bell that would dispel the age that kept us down. I recall when we would bleed, 'cause we believe freedom was in reach of those who seized the day. But freedom came and faded like a dream. Don't shout out the new day dawning, but it faded like a dream in the morning. Sing out, shout out the new day dawning, but it faded like a dream. Sing out, shout out the new day dawning, but it faded like a dream in the morning. Sing out, shout out the new day dawning, but it faded like a dream. Independence, what an elusive dream. Things are never ever what they seem. Marching on in on, awaiting the command of the liberator, now the henchman. People's vanguard, propaganda ministry, freedom fighters filling the ranks of the secret police. While the tale of the times, so the obituary lines, we offer our resistance with these humble rhymes. Sing out, shout out, we dream never dies. Of people united, nobody can brutalize. Sing out, shout out, we dream never dies. A mind on fire, no army can occupy. Sing out, shout out, we dream never dies. Forward ever. Sing out, shout out, we dream never dies. Backward never.
This is in fulfillment of the British policy of trusteeship and of social and economic development, which aims at preparing colonial peoples for independence.
We made a tryst with destiny.
But if the British Empire and its Commonwealth last for 1,000 years,
Hello, CIUT 89.5 FM listeners. My name is Isabella Milano. I'm a vocal music student at the University of Toronto, and recently I was on PFA as a co-host with Jesse about an episode on Colombia with my cousin Alejandra Ballestas. We had so much fun talking with Jesse, and we loved learning about other music through interviews from the show, featuring U of T students from all over the globe.
I saw you walking in the mall, strolling down by the market stall, window to window on a shopping spree, chasing an identity. But it takes more than a name on a shirt, a sign on a shoe, or a shape in a skirt. That you are in the line, credit card in your hand, fighting to be in fashion. On the radio, on the billboard, on the commercial all the time, they telling the lie. We are what we buy in the paper, in the poster, the magazine all the time. They telling the lie, so please remember, you are more than you consume, much more than you presume, more than others might assume. Beautiful soul, you are more than you expect, far more than you project, more than others accept and reject. Beautiful soul, you are more than you could say, more than we could ever claim, more than the games we play. Beautiful soul, you are more than what you buy, far more than meets the eye, so I even bother to try. Beautiful soul, from the TV. You said there's nothing else to do or see. And deep, deep, deep in the jungle of the night, you find the big screens are burning bright. Bright as the signs that light our streets, that crowd our minds, that guide our feet. There's a million brands on the shelf, but we still can't find ourselves. On the radio, on the billboard, on the commercial, all the time they telling the lie. We are what we buy in the paper, in the poster, the magazine, all the time they telling the lie. So please remember, you are more than you consume, much more than you presume, more than others might assume. Beautiful soul, you are more than you expect, far more than you project, more than others accept and reject. Beautiful soul, you are more than you could say, more than we could ever claim, more than the games we play. Beautiful soul, you are more than what you buy, far more than meets the eye, so I even bother to try. Beautiful soul,
they whisper in your ears, play your fears, summon smiles, conjure tears. But you're still the image of the Most High, no matter how you look in their eyes. So don't let them seduce you, don't let them reduce you, don't let them define you, never let them refine you. Don't let them berate you, never recreate you. Don't let them deride you, never let